Hey guys, how are you doing today? We're gonna be doing quite some derivatives, okay? We're just gonna practice. So let's do it. So let's begin with this one. So for this function, we're gonna take the derivative with respect to r. And in this case, we're gonna use the product rule. So derivative of the first one, that is just going to be 2r times the second term, r squared minus 2r, plus derivative of the second one, which is just going to be 2r minus 2 times the first factor, so r squared plus 1. And now let's multiply everything. So we're gonna have in this case we're gonna get 2r cubed minus 4r squared plus, so for this one we need to FOIL, so we get 2r cubed plus 2r minus 2r squared minus 2. Okay, this is how much we get. And now let's see what we can move here. So we're gonna have 4r cubed squared terms minus 6r squared, and now plus 2r minus 2. Okay, so this is the derivative for this function. So let's keep going with this example. So in this case, we're gonna use the quotient rule. Now we need to take the derivative of the top and then multiply by the bottom first. So the derivative of cubic root x. So let's see how much that would be. So I'm gonna write it down here. So the derivative with respect to x for the, I'm gonna write this as 1/3. This is just simply going to be 1/3. Minus 1, that would be minus 2/3. And now we can just simply rewrite this. So we know we would get 1/3 times 1/cubic root of x squared. This is how much we get. And now we can plug that number in there. So we're going to have, now we know we are going to multiply this fraction by this. So just to save us some time, we can just simply put this factor into the numerator, because we know we're just simply going to multiply. So we're going to have x to the third power over this. So 3 square root, cubic root, x squared, minus, so now derivative of what we have on the bottom. So we're also going to multiply by cubic root x times derivative of the bottom, so it's gonna be this. And now we know all of this is just simply being multiplied by the bottom squared, so we would just simply get x cubed plus 1 squared. Okay, and now let's see what we can do in this case. So something we could do is just simply multiply these numerator, top and bottom, so we can get a common factor, so we can get the greatest common denominator. So let's see what we get. So we should get simply 3. Should they cancel out? They maybe, no, they should not, because we've got it squared. No, they won't. Although technically, no, they won't. Yeah. So we have 3 times. I'm gonna write this first. So we've got 3 times cubic root of x times cubic root of x times 3x squared, and now this was actually minus, and then plus x cubed plus 1. And now this is just simply going to be, we can get this, just simply leave it the same. So cubic root of x squared. And I actually missed the squared in here. Square, no, actually it was not squared in this one. So this is how much we should get. Now from here we should be able to factor out some things, but for the sake of time we're not going to do it. But if you leave it out, and actually no, never mind, yeah, this one, should we expand out that one? Maybe we can. If we expand it out, when you would go up here, if we do I mean, we've got this fraction and then we're dividing by this. So we're just simply going to multiply. Yep. I'm just gonna multiply that in here. So we're gonna have, I'm not gonna expand it just for the sake of the space. Plus 1 squared, okay? And now this multiplying this. So now this is how much you should get for the derivative for this function right there. Now let's try this derivative. What is the derivative of x times sine of x? Now in this case, we know the derivative of sine of x is just simply cosine of x. So let's use the product rule. So we're going to have the derivative of the first thing, which is just going to be 1. So we have sine of x plus the derivative of the second term times the first one. So you get x times cosine of x. And that's it. This is how much you get. You might use some trigonometric identities to simplify this. Maybe you get something else, but in this case, you could just leave it like this. So now let's try this derivative right there. So now, first of all, what we need to know is that this is going to be, well, we're going to use the chain rule. So let's rewrite it. So we're going to have the derivative with respect to a for the function 3a squared minus 1 over a to the 1/2, okay? And we know this is just simply going to be 1/2 times 3a squared minus 1 over a, and now minus 1 over 2 times derivative of what we have on the inside, so 6a, minus derivative of, this is just simply saying 1 over a to the negative 1, so a to the negative 1 would just simply be minus a to the negative 2, okay? So we get that. Now we just simply need to simplify. So now we know from this, we've done it a lot of times before, a term to the negative 1/2 is just simply the square root and inverse. So we're gonna have 1/2 times, and actually now I'm gonna write it. We know since we're gonna have in this case 1/2, we can just simply grab this term and put it on top. So we're gonna have 6a plus a, actually 1 over 2a, or well, for now I'm just gonna leave it a to the negative 2 over 2 times square root of 3a squared minus 1 over a. So this is how much we get for this function right there.